Racist.
I would like to talk about a video game.
We sat on those Casper mattresses.
We got super excited
RTX.
when we were staying in LA. We could hit a Pokestop from our bed.
Is that the game you want to talk about? Little indie title that came out last week?
No.
No.
You want to talk about Inside?
I want to talk about Inside.
Okay.
That game's weird.
Who's finished it real quick?
It
Show of
was-
hands.
I finished it.
Barbara did not raise her hand. So Gus,
It's okay.
Gavin,
I don't
and
have the
Burnie
system to play it.
raised our hands. Barbara has not. But I think Barbara has as great of understanding of that ending as we do, even though she hasn't experienced it.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
feel
guys
like she
explain
might
it
know
to me.
it better than us.
I feel like
It might
just
make more
when,
sense to somebody who's never seen it.
just when you think you're getting to grips with what's happening in that game, they throw in something that's like, well, that was weird,
Well,
and then
here's-
you sort of like, yeah, I can get on board with. Okay, well, that's really weird.
Here's the thing about that game. I don't know what that game's about at all. I only know the ending.
We don't know either.
I
we don't know what it's
wish
about
I had a
either.
But you
face
played
cam
it.
of myself
That's
when I
what I'm
finished
saying.
it. It would have been
As
like,
as someone who's played it, I should understand what happened better than you. I don't.
But I
We're
mean,
on the
like,
same level.
what's
It's
the
been out
actual?
a couple of weeks, right? We can talk about it.
What's the actual gameplay like? Is it like Limbo?
Limbo? Very much like Limbo, but
Made by the same people.
absolutely gorgeous, great game. Even though we're kind of bagging on it for being like, what? It's one of the best games I've
Well, I
played
saw
in a very
Ashley.
long
People should
time.
definitely play it.
reaction.
It's a solid 9.5 out of 10.
The fuck was that?
The fuck was that?
I
Ashley?
recorded Ashley because she hadn't finished it. And by the way, for those of you who think we could potentially be spoiling this game that you might want to play that you haven't played yet, it's literally impossible. We could not spoil this for you. I don't know.
We could spoil the ending.
I suppose.
But
we
is that
could.
like a selling point to the game?
Well, I mean, it's the ending.
Like, would someone want to not play it if they knew the ending?
I don't think so.
I would love to see just
So I don't
recordings
think
of people
that's spoiling.
finishing the game.
Yeah. So if you're playing Inside, record your face if you haven't finished it yet, and show us what your face looks like when you finish the game. Be very curious.
Rodzilla sent me one. of
Usually
his
you don't
face.
want to hear.
Very cool game mechanics built in. I don't know how they came up with some of that
See me
stuff.
video of your face when you
We
finish.
did a whole.
Yeah, I was gonna say usually you don't want a video of someone's face when they finish.
We did 20 minutes on the patch this last week, and I agree. I like how they don't ever give you a tutorial of any kind.
There's no HUD. And
Nothing.
there's no even, you press start and then the boy comes down and you just start walking, just like Limbo.
Yeah, Limbo's even weirder because Limbo, you start the game and you don't know it's begun, and you're sitting
Yeah.
there watching the screen, and then you're like, "Oh, am I supposed to?" And then you move and he gets up, and then you like start playing the game.
Wait, don't
Inside's
spoil
also-
Limbo. All
That's
right?
the beginning.
Inside's also really dark, like the brightness level. Like when it says like resume,
as opposed to Limbo.
it's just like, is the TV on? Oh yeah, it says resume really faintly.
Wait, if you leave the Xbox.
Right.
Oh, so it's on Xbox.
Like if I go to like
dims.
watch TV and then I go back to the Xbox.
Yeah, yeah.
What's resume?
That's what it says. Like
It's
when,
after you press start, you can resume.
right.
Okay. I think I just played straight through.
They want you to
honestly.
submit your resume. It's just a little
They
dark.
do a great job of making little bits of the game where you're being chased and you have just enough time to make it.
Yeah.
Like at full sprint, you're like, nail it.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff in the game, and it's like it starts off a little weird because Limbo's pretty like dark. I mean, it's like in a
I mean, you're
narrative
like pulling
sense.
the legs off spiders.
right, and the
people
bear
getting-
trap snaps you, and your head goes flying and
There's
everything.
like grubs that go in your mind.
Right, which there's some of that
In the pig.
in Inside too. But at the beginning, when you first mess up, I don't know if you guys messed up at the beginning part, but you get shot with trank darts.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they went like a softer route in this, and it's like, nope. Like,
That changes later.
2 seconds later, I was getting ripped apart by dogs.
Or
Little
the
kid.
big shockwave bit. Where
Yeah.
you just turn to goop.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Do we know what that is? Is there
Nope.
any indication of what that was?
I thought it was nuclear blasts in the distance, is what I think it is.
Hide behind this pillar. You're okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Hide behind the pillar.
Now that I've
Duck
finished,
and cover.
I'm positive I could probably go back and play that game a second time and not die at all, and just play it all in one life.
I think so too. I think in that sense,
Much easier to not die than Limbo.
Much easier.
Yeah.
Limbo had that 5 no death achievement.
got it.
I never got
I
that.
got it live on Twitch. It's one of my only Twitch streams I've ever done.
Really?
I was going for that, and we were down to the last life, and everybody's freaking the fuck out.
360
Got
no
it.
death.
Got it. Fucking spin around
No scope.
360.
It was
360 glass crash.
I thought a tremendous successor to a good game.
I agree, but fucking weird, dude.
You see this?
Really weird.
And Limbo was weird enough. At least.
I did it. What?
All right.
You weren't there?
Were you watching the secret ending?
No,
Yeah.
he showed me what I just did when he was reading.
Oh, I didn't see it. No. The thing I had highlighted.
Oh, you just
Oh, I
showed me a
thought you were
GIF.
showing me
No,
the
I had
GIF.
this highlighted.
Oh, okay.
All right, so while they're doing that shitty business, if you guys want to ask us a question or take part in the podcast, and you're watching this live on First, then just tweet us using the hashtag Hashtag RT.
Who's on
podcast.
first?
There you go.
Hashtag RT podcast.
Everyone watching live right now is on first. So,
Damn it.
talking about another video game, Pokemon Go, aka the game everybody in the world is playing.
Well, not Canada yet. They don't have it yet.
Everybody in the world
just
accounts.
the US has it.
Just the U.S.
It's
People who don't like Pokemon, by the way, really don't like this game. They're mad about it.
people who
I don't really
like Pokemon.
care about Pokemon. I love this game.
I don't think there's much to this game. What do you do? I mean,
There's
I've caught like 20 Pokemon.
There's
What else
not
do
much
you?
to it at all.
You just fling the ball at stuff.
Yep.
You don't have to beat the shit out of it first. You
You gotta
just,
hunt them though. You gotta go hunting.
It's lacking
I think
in
it's-
the game.
yeah, it's not.
area.
It's not Pokemon.
The socializing you do because of it, I think, is a big selling point.
Oh, I hate it.
Well,
But
of
it's
course
crazy
you
to
do.
see.
Whenever there's like lore been dropped, I feel like, oh, I don't want to go anywhere near that.
It's
'cause people are
crazy to
gonna-
see the people walking around.
I was
looking for them.
walking to brunch yesterday with Meg.
Where'd you go to brunch?
Didn't something happen today?
Something happened today. I can't talk about it.
Where'd you go to brunch?
Could you change a word?
I'm not going to say either because it's walking distance from my house.
Oh.
So walking to
Is
brunch.
it a place that I would like? Is it good? Is it a
Yes.
good place to go to brunch?
Yeah.
Ashley and I went to brunch at Connie and Ted's, and it was a Pokestop, so we ate there. And so it was good.
Nerds.
We had a cinnamon bun that was huge.
Yeah, we were walking by a bunch of people, and this guy was like zigzagging around, like walking all through the trees. And I was like, hey, he's looking for a Pokemon. And then he comes up to us and goes, "You guys seen the Dratini? Do you know where it is?" And I was like, I mean, I know what you're talking about because I know about Pokemon. But he didn't say, "Hey, I'm playing this game. Are you?"
Right.
He just said, "Where's the Dratini?"
Were you on your phone?
No.
Oh,
Patrick,
That's
I'm
really
sending you
strange.
a. I'm sending you a.
That's the world we
picture.
live in now, where it's expected that you're searching for
well,
Pokemon.
did you see Blaine tweeting about it yesterday? He went, I think, to some park downtown Austin, and there apparently were like 15 or 20 people also playing Pokemon Go. And so he was like going after them and asking them if they found this one or that one. And then he saw a couple, and he was like, "Hey, you find any Pokemon around here?" And they're just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So it's like almost the exact same
Yeah.
situation.
But we know two people that have already had a major incident because of Pokemon Go. We know one guy who got a ticket because he was driving while playing Pokemon
Well,
Go.
that's stupid.
And we won't. It's an employee, so we've all sworn to secrecy. Is the guy's name? He even admits it was really stupid of him. And then we also know somebody who's been in a car accident now because of Pokemon Go. And this was both within 48 hours of the game being
Wait,
released.
we know someone?
Yeah, you know Ren the Reaper. He was a big part of the RT community for a long time.
Yeah.
And now he works at Corridor Digital.
He's a legend. I love that guy.
Awesome dude. He did this incredible Harry Potter short. They just did a Red versus Blue video where they had Gus and I contribute video voices to it. People thought that was a Red versus Blue season 14 video because we have so many different collaborators. It was just the weirdest timing. And it was like it was in the style of Corridor Digital where they do like one hit kills, that kind of thing.
I thought it was also when I got the lines, or when I got the email
that
and
makes
I
sense.
saw the proof. I was like, oh, okay, this must just be a season 14 video. And it wasn't until it was released on their show I was like, oh no, wait, it was just.
So someone hit
it was
him?
just their video.
So here's what happened. And this is totally working from. I talked to him on Twitter DMs, and I'm working from memory here. Actually, I can just read it if I talk to him on Twitter.
There's also this picture that I think Blaine tweeted.
Oh no, that's my picture I just sent to Patrick.
you.
That is Auditorium Shores last night at like 11:30 at night. Ashley and I, these guys with their shirts off. These guys were they were like so gangster, and they're like there's like one guy with a shirt off. Everyone started walking towards him because he's over there yelling, "What the fuck, Charmander? God damn!" Goddamn little bitch. And he was just yelling the whole time at Charmander. And it was so fucking funny. But we took us 3 hours to get home from the airport last night.
God damn.
Why?
3
Because you
hours.
kept stopping?
Yeah, we did stop for dinner in that, but yeah, literally we kept veering to like go hunt for stuff.
Well, we had to wait for Ashley's ass before we went and saw the movie the other night because she was trying to catch an Arbok for like 10 minutes, just throwing balls at it.
literally on the red carpet at
We're
Ghostbusters.
like, and it's like
So
everyone
there's
in-
probably a ton of Pokemon over there.
Yeah, right? She's like sitting there hunting
She's
this
like, hold
cobra.
on, just like stood in the corner, just going like. The security
Well,
guard's
did
like,
What do you do? Get your fucking ass moving.
Well, was it in Austin that there was people trying to set up like a Pokemon stop where they would just rob people in the middle of the night?
Is that in
I
Austin?
think
I've
it was
heard of
in
that
Austin.
happening.
I've heard of it.
yeah,
in
people have
other
been
places,
dropping
yeah.
law to
Somewhere in
rob
Texas.
people, like a bunch of
But that's
18-year-old
stupid because
kids.
you're
Yeah.
gonna. I mean, you want to find people by themselves. You don't want a place where a bunch of people are gonna go.
It
Unless you
would
do it
be.
in the middle of the night, like late at night when there's not as many people out.
Yeah, I mean, you're not hunting deer. I mean, it's just like I guess if you want cell phones,
You're hunting the most dangerous
Also,
game.
just don't go looking
Man.
for Pokemon at 2 in the morning. Just have
Go-
common sense.
go-
Also,
looking
don't
for
steal
Pokemon.
a phone, you idiot, because it's you
Or
don't
yeah,
find
just
it.
don't rob people.
Here, let me
That's probably a
see if we
better
can see what
solution.
Ren said about getting hit by a car.
It's a loud ass plane.
That was really loud. That was like really close feeling to me. Where's Ren?
You never hear a plane in here.
No,
It's really weird.
was that like the Did the England one get delayed? That's like the biggest plane that lands there.
The England one would have been delayed by like 4 hours if
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, no, that was crazy.
England.
Anyway, I can't find the message here. I'm having trouble searching through my messages. But essentially what he said was he went to a gym and there was already a guy there and he was parked. Or maybe it was a Pokestop. That would make more sense. He was at a Pokestop that had a lure on it. There was a guy there in a van. He pulled up. He was hunting for the Pokemon as well. And then while he's doing that, the guy in the van just all of a sudden backed up and smashed into him. And got out and was like, you weren't here when I got here.
So he wasn't actually driving.
Yeah, well, he was probably still Pokemoning, and then like backed his van into Ren's car.
Yeah, this guy that
He
asked
tweeted about it.
me,
You can go to Ren the Reaper on Twitter. and-
Ren with a W. The
Ren
guy,
with a W, yes.
the guy that was zigzagging all around in front of us, walking through the trees and stuff, and asking us. He then got into his car and drove off with his phone in his hand. Like,
No,
this.
it's gonna kill
You're
somebody.
a fool.
It's gonna
Yeah,
kill somebody.
It's probably going to.
There's been one death from autonomous driving. Everybody's going nuts. I guarantee there's been probably several car accidents at this point due to Pokemon Go.
Probably.
Yeah,
With no doubt.
Also, some Pokemon are dangerous.
That's true.
They could kill you.
That's
do
why
you
you
mean,
got to
what?
get
You
a
lose a
significant
finger.
other to drive you around, so you can look for Pokemon while they drive.
I saw there's services like that now, like where people on Craigslist are offering to drive other people around so they can find Pokemon Go.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I asked my Uber. I asked my Uber driver in LA if anybody had done that. And he said he didn't know what the hell I was talking about. So
It'd be a good service to be like, I know where all the best Pokemon are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, like what are you looking for? I can take you to the right place.
I will
Flat
say-
fee of $50 will take you wherever you want.
The Pokestop thing is pretty cool though if you're looking for them because it makes you notice stuff in the world that you never would have seen. Like I was in LA in an Uber going down. I was like, oh, there's one coming up.
A Uber.
A Uber. And I spun around. I was like, hey, it's the Banksy art. I was like, oh, that's a Banksy. That's cool. But I didn't know.
That's
I'd never
neat.
have known.
yeah, I'm the same way. Hank Green tweeted the same thing. He sees art in places. He's like, I never knew this was here.
Yeah.
I've been
I
walking
didn't know,
past this for years.
I didn't know my apartment had a dog park until there was a Pokestop over there.
It's weird. It's a weird phenomenon. I mean, I've always been like, Pokemon. I'm having a blast with this.
But it could be anything. It's just this like go out and hunt in the real world thing.
well, it could be, sure.
Like there will be other games that are like this.
Yeah. You know, there's a theory that if you put Pokemon on anything, people go nuts for it, you know. And this turned out to be true. Because this is based on another game called Ingress that is supposedly has way more features than Pokemon Go, but no one's going to go play Ingress now.
Is that real?
What is
What is
this?
this?
It looks like Uber with people walking with Pokemon balls.
What is that, Patrick?
Pokeballs.
I mean, is that a service just for getting Pokemon?
It's the cars picking people up to get.
What's its service called? They're saying that this is the car service that'll take you to Pokemon Hunt.
Cars picking people up to take
What's
them
the
to
service
Pokemon?
called?
What's the fucker walking? Who's that? What's he doing? Nobody has any information.
Nobody answered any questions. It could be a Photoshop
They
for all
just
we know.
randomly selected a photo.
It might be.
And showed it to us. Are you playing Pokemon Go?
Yes.
How many Pokemons do you have?
I had like 90 earlier, but I got rid of a bunch of duplicates.
You didn't know how. It's
I
interesting
didn't know
to
how.
like
I have
explain to Gus how to do
41
stuff.
now.
What's your best Pokemon?
My best Pokemon is how do you say it? Vaporeon,
Vaporeon, yeah.
What level is it at?
645.
One of the Eevee
Holy shit.
evolutions.
Mine's a Machamp.
Machamp.
Machamp, thanks.
I have a Taurus, I think it's called.
You called it Mariel?
I named it Mariel. I always name my Pokemon after the people who I'm next to when I catch them.
8,
And so I was with
2,
Mariel.
2.
Did you see the guy who names all of his Pokemon based on what autocorrect corrects the actual name of the Pokemon to?
That's a really
That's
funny
pretty
idea.
funny.
That's
That's
awesome.
pretty funny.
Like Gilbert instead of Golbat. Golbat.
Look, I have one of these bat things. I name it Bethany.
Do you still name all your Pokemon?
Not all of them.
Yeah.
What? No.
Nah, you
I
don't.
don't
you don't
play anymore.
You don't bother. So you're gonna play Pokemon Go?
I call like 20, but it rinses my battery and I'm just not
handy.
that interested.
Yeah.
It's-
It does chew
I had
through
a
it.
tweet about it the other day. Like, I wonder how much more strain on the electrical grid Pokemon
Yeah,
Go
I definitely
places.
wonder that.
Didn't
Because
you see like the daily number of users was higher than Twitter one time?
I retweeted somebody put that stat up that on Tuesday it's going to pass Twitter for more daily active users in less than a week. It will pass.
Came out on
Twitter.
Wednesday night, right?
Yeah.
I wish the Pokemon were more fixed to an actual location. Because like you just get near it and it's like wherever your phone is looking. But if it was like actually on a park bench, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh really? Okay.
Aaron was really confused because he was driving me, and I was like, "Oh, there's a Pokemon." He's like, "How is it in the car with us?"
You going out with a caveman?
Yeah, pretty
you're going
much.
out, you are going out with someone who doesn't text message, so
Yeah.
there is a certain barrier of
What
of
decade
knowledge.
would he rather be in?
Probably 1930.
I would have guessed 70s, but 30s is pretty extreme.
Maybe the 60s.
You're
Who's
gonna.
this guy Magmar you're always talking to on the phone? Gonna fuck him up.
So if you had to name 151 Pokemon,
The
original.
the names would be as shitty as what they came up with. Pretty
no,
much.
you're not coming up with names. But if you had to name the first 150, the ones from the first game, how many could you name? Do you think? Because we did a versus today, and Jeremy, just off the top of his head, named 100, and I shouldn't spoil it. He named a lot of Pokemon.
Holy
Really?
shit.
Yeah,
What do you mean he named them?
he typed the names in.
Just
Like
oh, okay.
Charmander, blah.
No, you're doing something different. he came up with names.
No,
He named all
He remembered the
151.
names.
So what was the question you were asking me?
If you
Could
had,
you name the first 151 Pokemon?
I can't name any Pokemon.
You just named one.
I've been
You
playing.
said Magmar.
I looked at my phone to try to find a name so I could make that stupid joke
Come
about
up
Aaron.
with 5 Pokemon names. Don't come up with them. Name them.
You're saying come up. That's
Yeah.
why he's
Yeah,
confused.
yeah. Magikarp. You asked me, could I come up with names for the first 100 Pokemon? It made me sound like I was going to name them like you do when you're next to somebody. Magikarp,
One.
Arbok, Enix. Is that what you said? No?
is that one?
Enix. No, fuck it. This game
That
sucks.
was 2.
Jigglypuff,
You couldn't name Pikachu
I can name Pikachu,
or
sure.
Bulbasaur.
No, I don't know that one.
Charmander,
Charmander. I know Charmander. I don't know the other ones. Squirtle.
I got a Squirtle this morning. Was very
do it.
happy with that.
Pidgey.
Is it which ones are starters? Because
Bulbasaur,
Squirtle and Charmander were definitely
What's
starters.
that egg one?
Bulbasaur, Charmander,
Execute.
and Squirtle. are the 3.
Execute?
yeah.
Listen, you
What
should
one?
play.
The little
Pokemon
egg
Go is
one?
fun. You should play Pokemon Go.
Minecraft?
Something else you should know: you have an advantage
Yeah.
by starting the game now. There's a way you can start with a Pikachu as your starter Pokemon.
What? How?
Look it up. You can do it. It's
But-
so they don't tell you this, but they put 3 out there, and you click on the one, and that's your starter that you fight, and it puts out a Bulbasaur, a Squirtle, and a Charmander. But if you just like walk away from them, they'll spawn again somewhere else, and then you keep walking, they spawn somewhere else. Keep walking, they spawn again. This time they have a Pikachu with them, and then you can choose the Pikachu.
So you just to go for a little trek.
That's as I understand it. I was well past it, so I was like, "Fuck this thing."
That's
like
what,
funny.
that's what I've heard also.
What do you have? What was your starter?
Bulbasaur.
What a chump. That makes so much sense.
What?
That makes sense to me. Mine's a Charmander.
Well, Squirtle's the best starter.
Fuck off. He's a bitch.
This from the guy who can't name 2. Oh, he can't name 3. So
Yeah.
you got shown.
Bulbasaur's the worst because he's Leaf.
Apparently someone doesn't like that. Was it Justin? Justin does not like the fact that
I
you
seen
insulted
charts and everything. I'm
Bulbasaur.
just like, fuck this.
In the game, statistically, Bulbasaur's the hardest.
All right, name all the types of Pokemon. Do that. Name all-
Fire, ice, water.
poison.
Am I doing this right? I'm totally making this up.
You got it. You're on their way though.
Earth, love, heart.
No. Love. Flying.
Playing
right?
Captain Planet now?
It's flying different than like something else. It's flying its own thing.
Yeah,
Air?
like a bird.
Air.
I get what flying
is a bird, okay.
And that's not what I'm asking.
Is it different? Yeah, like a rock doesn't fly, but a bird flies.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Is flying a category? Is flying a category?
Yeah, like what else would a bird be?
No.
Well,
he meant like
feathers. It could be a feather category, dummy.
Some
Air.
stuff without
It could be
feathers.
air.
air.
Some stuff without feathers flies.
Air. Jesus. You mean like rocks? Fucking rock flying your direction about 2 minutes.
Like the Aerodactyl, that flies, doesn't have feathers.
Yeah, but is it air? Is that the category that it's in?
No, flying.
That's what I was asking. So flying is a category. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, the birds. Mostly.
Mostly.
You can have 2 types, like a Zapdos is flying and it's electric.
But can you name
You give me 2
them?
types? What's Charmander?
He's fire type.
Fire and?
Well, it's
Fire
fire.
and
I mean,
water?
Charizard flies.
Not all of them are 2
He,
types, but
he
they can be 2
evolves.
types.
He evolves into a flying one.
Okay.
How do you know all this
Flying and
stuff?
fire. Because you
I
grew
don't
up
know, 'cause
playing
I
it.
played Pokemon when I was a kid.
Did you get all 151 Pokemon when you were growing up?
Did I?
Yes.
No. Because I couldn't afford both copies of the game. You needed red and blue to get all of them.
Oh, that's shitty.
Could you share them between the 2?
Yeah,
things?
you could trade. You could trade with someone's red to get certain Pokemon that you couldn't get in blue.
What a ripoff. Is that true? I
Yeah,
never
that's
heard
why
that.
they had 2 versions.
Did you didn't have a friend with the other version?
They just
didn't
had
have
different Pokemon on it?
I mean, it had a lot of them were on both, but there were some, I think less than 20, that you could only get on one side.
Well, that's shitty, dude.
But then Yellow made it so that wasn't the case a little bit. I don't know.
Who is Jeremy playing against today in that versus?
Matt.
Matt Bragg?
Yeah.
How do you
No,
play
Matt
versus
Hullum.
in Pokemon Go?
You don't.
No, it's
We were just
naming all the
We were just
Pokemon.
naming Pokemon. Writing down their names, not making up new names.
Not you go, I go. Kind of thing.
Not coming up with names, as Gavin said.
And none
So
of them were
confusing.
flying.
He talks in circles.
Some of them were
guys.
feathers.
Some of them, but they didn't fly.
But they were not flying rocks.
They were not.
Rocks
That's
don't have
ridiculous.
Penguins have feathers and they don't fly. Do penguins have feathers?
They do have feathers.
Okay, good.
What does a skinned penguin look like?
Ugh. But you know what looks
Probably
worse
looks like
is
a walking.
I saw a
chicken.
skinned owl. Blech.
Oh, we're saying skinned. I mean defeathered.
I know
not-
what you mean.
Not
I know what you mean.
de-skinned.
How would you? What is that called?
Plucked?
A plucked
Shaved?
penguin.
Demolted?
Have you ever seen a shaved bear?
Is that?
No.
On
Pull it
Grindr?
up. Look up Google shaved
Nice.
bear.
Thanks,
no,
dude.
you
Nice.
gotta look it
Thanks.
up. Hairless bear. Or furless
Don't look
bear.
up hairless bear on the internet.
No,
Don't do that.
it. Look up
Don't do
hairless
it.
bear. Get it up here.
Don't.
And
Don't
then
do
look
it.
up hairless beaver.
There we go.
Look how fucking weird that is. Why are you going? Where are
They
you going?
clicked on it. They fucked it up. They'll find it.
Now,
They'll bring it
now
back
look
to
up a different Pokemon. It's called a smooth twink. Look that up, would you, Patrick?
There it is. Look
Oh,
at that thing.
looks
It's
crazy.
like an elephant with a bear head.
That looks horrible. It's like a rat.
Yeah.
An
Who
800-pound.
pulled all the hair off a bear?
It's got mange. It's
All
got
the
a thing.
hair off
It's
bear.
got minge.
It's got a thing that makes the hair come out.
I thought you said minge.
Mange. You know what mange is?
Mangy.
Oh. A
called
weird-
minge.
Pulls all the hair off of a bear. It's like there's one zookeeper. That's why I became a zookeeper. That's what he's really into.
A tough dude.
Just pulling fur off of bears. Yeah, I got a situation where you don't need to use a robot. I feel like you could use a robot anytime.
There was
Well,
also-
usually after a shower or something if you want.
Here's
like
why you're okay with the robe. Girl bits that they have to keep contained are here on the sides. Guys' bits are dead center. You can't wear a robe as a guy because like shit's just going straight out to the flat part.
Well, not if you put the fold over the front.
It still doesn't work out for me.
You could just say
You
it's
do
like
you
funny
do one
towel.
step, that inner flap goes to the left. Some makes a break for it, and then it flaps out the other way.
You know what else was dumb about this hotel? At the
at a
end of the
baby
bed,
elephant.
at the end of the bed was like
a shaved bear.
a chair, or like a wicker basket or something. On it was a blanket that said, "This blanket is for sale. If you unwrap it, we will bill you $90."
It's
Wow.
just a hotel.
Wow.
It's
Oh
my
just a
God.
hotel. It was $200 a night, booked 2 days in advance.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
We wanted
For
to stay at
LA?
the Lowe's because the premiere was at the Man Chinese Theater, which, by the way, is not the name of that theater.
No, it's TC something.
Chinese
Even
theater.
Man's Chinese Theater is not the name of the theater, like the original name of the theater. You know what it is? Grauman's.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Grauman's trying to see it. I only know that because we were just there for Let's Play Live. And I
makes
walked by.
sense.
Yeah, I saw the sign.
So we were going to say the Lowe's, which is it's a hotel. It's right there. It's right connected to it, basically.
I
Just
would
walk
rather
around the
stay in
corner.
a travel lodge than that place.
God, they were so upset.
It
they were
doesn't
so
look
upset.
that bad, Gavin.
It looked
It's just
fine.
annoying. Like all the style is, and the toilet bowls are tiny, and your penis just sits on the
That's
porcelain.
like European style toilet bowls. It was round.
I don't want my penis to be smeared against the bowl.
No,
some of us
neither
do.
does anyone else.
Yeah.
Where does it usually go? Does it hang in there?
Yeah, usually the seat is high enough from the floor of the toilet that your knob isn't dragging through the water.
I guess you never have got to think about this, have you, Barbara?
It happens.
Can't say I have, Gus.
It happens.
I've never had my vagina flaps in the water.
Never gone for a little swim?
Dangling around.
I'm just when it comes to hotels, I just want basic hotel. I don't want the hotel to try and be cool in my face at the expense of convenience. I just want a bed.
What's the convenience?
A bed and a what?
What's the convenience? The
Like
phone?
like being able to change the temperature in the room.
Open the window.
That is a luxury in a hotel.
Yeah, Justin, I totally agree. But it's
Also, there were no end tables. There
it's a
were
very,
chairs.
it is a nice hotel. It's very nice. You can see pictures of it. It's a nice hotel. I like the hotel. It was $200 a night in L.A.
It looks nice.
And close to the venue you're going to, right?
Yeah, pretty nice. Pretty good. It's okay.
You know what I fucking can't
Close to a
stand?
Pokestop.
You know what I cannot stand in hotels? When there's no bathroom door.
Go to that. Do it.
When we were at that Lowe's Hotel for Let's Play Live in LA, at one point I was on the mezzanine of that hotel, which is obviously not on the ground floor, not in the lobby. It's up a couple of levels. And there was a woman walking around with like 2 giant suitcases. And she was like, "Do you know where I go to check into the hotel?" I was like,
How'd you
"How
get
the
here?
fuck did you get up here?"
Because
Like you have to walk by the front
no,
desk.
there's a walkway to the shopping center
is
next
there?
door that puts you in the mezzanine.
Okay.
I don't know why she
I
went that way.
was so confused. We have another Let's Play Live coming up
I was going to say, speaking of Let's
In-
Play Live,
You do.
August 19th, we have an
Chicago.
event in Chicago.
at the Chicago Theater.
Is this our first ever thing like in that area of the U.S.?
We used to attend events there.
Gen Con.
Gen Con's in Indianapolis.
It's fairly close, though.
Yeah, but it's not Chicago. It's another
She
city.
said in
Little
that
Eastern.
area.
Chicago.
No, we did do one in Chicago.
We have.
We have attended events, is what I said.
The Wizard World one.
Yes.
Yeah, we've never like done anything there. And now we are
Yes.
in Chicago, as
I
you
hate
call
you.
it.
I hate you.
Do you not call it?
What are you going on about?
Chicago.
Oh, yeah, fuck you, huh?
Chicago to Indianapolis is like a 2-hour drive. If you're driving IndyCar, it's like 50 minutes. Zip.
It's August 19th. We just announced it and just put tickets out. It's
Like Tokyo, we all know Tokyo. But Kyoto's, that's the deal.
supposed to be a beautiful city.
Anagram.
I've never been there.
It is, right? What's the story? Why is Kyoto spelled like Tokyo?
Used to be the capital.
Kyoto.
Yep. And it's the
So
same.
what?
It's the same words. Kyoto.
Kyoto.
Like it's,
Tokyo.
yeah, it's like different.
It's
they
like
just
if
rearranged
Texas
it.
ever made a new city called
You're
South-
telling me all things I can get by observation. You're not explaining why that makes
Southton.
sense. Like you said, it's the capital. Okay. Washington is the capital. Is that why we
I think
named
it
the
means
state
like,
Washington?
I think it means like city capital or capital city. They just like reversed it.
What? Okay. See, all I know is when I play Civilization, I play as Japanese culture, very noble culture that we'll be visiting early next month. It always has my starting city be Kyoto by default, as opposed to Tokyo.
So to means east and kyo means capital.
So
now
the
it's-
capital east and east capital.
Yeah. Eastern capital or capital east.
You've explained this. You've looked it up. It still makes no fucking sense to me.
Why? New city. Same thing.
What?
Like,
Okay.
Say the old one was crap and small. Make a big one. New York, right?
Right.
Better than the original York.
Different name than York, though.
Well, it still has York in it.
It does have York
You
in
can't
it.
flip York with York because York. You need two words
They don't
and then you
have
can flip
York
it.
and Croy. They don't have those. That's not the way they did it. They added a
Croy?
different.
But Croy's
Is it
not a word.
backwards?
Croy's York backwards. It's like a Pokemon York.
They didn't flip the word backwards.
They flipped the two syllables of the word backwards.
Yeah, so with a one syllable word, it worked.
I know that. I just don't know why flipping the syllables makes any sense on any level.
Because it hasn't happened yet.
Words,
If they
I
not
understand they
syllables. It's
did
one
it.
syllable
If
words.
they started a new city called York New, then that's what that would be.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They didn't do that. We never
But they
did
might
that.
one day.
Wait, but what would be the
it's
justification for
when,
doing
when
that?
they moved to New York, they could call it York New.
Yeah.
York New.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we would be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my
Well,
life.
for a while, and then you'd be like, oh, York
York
New.
New,
Wait,
yeah.
that was an old. That was
But
an
you
old
guys
one?
are talking about this like it's a totally sensible decision they arrived at. Of course they did it because it's the capital. That's
Yeah,
what I was
but
explaining.
the way wording works in Japan is totally different anyway. Like they say like last names first, don't they, and stuff like that. Everything's slightly different.
Yeah, but can you explain why? Why does
Do
it
they
make
not?
sense that
No,
it's
it's fine.
like
I'm with it.
you have the East capital, and then if you decide to change to a different city, you call it Capital East.
There's
Sure.
a place in Canada called Newfoundland.
See, that's a stupid name. Let's give the Japanese a little
We're
credit.
trying to argue with someone who doesn't think that people in Australia are upside down compared to us.
They're not on a radial. All right, never mind. I'm done with you guys.
Look,
I want Solid Page back.
Your closest thing to an Australian person on your body is your foot to their foot.
Closest thing, yeah. Yeah.
That's why they're upside down, you plum.
Here's the news for you. The closest thing to you always is someone else's foot because you're on a curve and your feet are fucking sitting there.
Not if I'm leaning towards you. You
If you're
can't
sitting-
do that for Australia.
If-
Unless you're doing a headstand.
He's got you there.
You fucking plum.
If I'm sitting, Gus, we're sitting on two edges of a sphere like this, our feet are the closest things.
No,
Always.
look,
in a
your-
straight line, our feet are always the closest things.
Your knee is closer to my knee than our feet are together right now. This knee, look, is closer to that knee.
What's the point at which the distance around the outside becomes too great and you got to go through the planet? Because the thing about lean, you can't lean in Australia because it won't cover the distance between going all the way through the planet.
They don't
I'm-
have leaning?
They have leaning. They have leaning. I'm working through this in my head. So you got a planet. It's round. Mostly round.
Spherical.
Mostly round. Spherical. Got a dude standing here. Got another dude standing here. Their feet are closest together. Totally agree with that. Totally
Right.
agree with that. But if this guy leans, it doesn't make him closer. But it doesn't.
No, he's
But you got a dude standing
was
like
that up for debate?
150 yards away from you on a sphere like this. Your feet are still closer together.
Right.
But he can lean and overcome that distance.
So
What is
what
the
you're-
What's
distance?
the point
Yeah.
at which you go around it?
the furthest someone can lean would tell you that answer. If you can lean,
What if you had like a limbo champion? Then they could
if
go
you could
further
lean
away.
like 60 degrees.
Well, I mean, if a person in Australia laid on the ground, it's a chance that their head could
Like
be
Michael
closer to my
Jackson?
feet.
Wait, what?
If a person in Australia laid on the ground, it could be such that their head would be closer to me than their feet if they just laid flat on the ground.
For both of it's on the ground.
Yes, but I'm at an angle as
So
such.
the ass technically would be the closest to you.
Why would the ass be
Because
closer?
in the middle.
What? What?
Oh, wait, would the ass be the
I
furthest
just don't think
away?
Gavin understands how the surface
What
of
if they're
something
laying
works.
on their stomach?
And the ass is
I
further
think
away.
Gavin,
Right.
Gavin envisions the Earth. I think he just has like a cross section, like a circle. That's all that you envision is just a circle. And like if the guy is laying on the circle, he's got to be balancing on his ass. Otherwise, it's not going to happen for him.
But are you on a cone?
On a cone.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Where'd the cone come
I'm on a
from?
cone now.
Nah. It's falling apart.
We've lost it entirely. What else do we want to talk about? There's some